Hello, hello. Hey guys, how are you doing? Let me know if the microphone needs changing, etc. Like microphone levels, volume levels. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can hear on screen as well. Just literally like managed to just slide in with the low-key stream. So yeah, yesterday in my video I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do it or not. Didn't make any guarantees, but we are here. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. You can't hear the stream. Can you not hear the stream? Do you mean no stream sound, but you can hear just fine? Okay, let's sort that. You can tell I don't do this that often. Anyone just joining? We are just trying to sort out the audio.
Across the underworld.
We hear that now.
You
Is that
will
any
know
better?
our pain. But you'll never hear us coming.
Yeah, I think that solved it. There we go. Just
All
the
you will
input
hear
was like
is your
set
own
to
scream.
default, and the defaulted to something else. But yeah, I've missed half the trailer, but it looked cool from what I could see. It's alright, we'll have time. I think the next session is looking at narrative velocity. Maybe a little Yeah, just turn down the desktop audio there, so hopefully that shouldn't be as loud. Very hype indeed. I am waiting for the actual gameplay reveal.
Welcome back once again. I am joined on the couch today by Mr. Stefan, Mr. Ian, and oh no, Raphael.
Why? Oh no! I thought you were happy to see me.
The wrong name popped into my head, and I was like, nope, we're not doing that. So welcome, Raphael. I believe this is your first time on the Den.
It is indeed. I'm really happy to be here.
And I am too. Sorry about the failed intro.
No problem.
So, yeah, so available on July 27th, and then will be the new OCELOTL hero, and then 2 weeks, that'll be for...
OCELOTL.
Cash.
OCELOTL. Is it OCELOTL with an L on the end, or OCELOT? OCELOTL.
But we've got a lot of details to get through with regard to all the things for the hero. So why don't we jump into that with you?
They normally go with like the concept art first and stuff.
I would love to. Super hyped to talk about the OCELOTL. It's a new Outlander, bringing a new hero to the battle finally. Outlander, what I love about them is they bring 2 new things to the battlefield every time. First is a new culture. We've started to see that at the start of the season, and I think Ian will talk more about that and others throughout the show. So I won't spend too much time on that, but Aztec for the first time, yes, awesome. And then second thing that
Finally
the
got
Outlanders bring
an
is a new
Aztec hero.
gameplay aspect, and we're going to see
I think
that
like
later in the show.
5
Yes,
years ago,
exactly.
people were
More
asking for it.
detailed explanation, but at the high level,
Finally
this
got it.
character's very precise, calculating, tactical hunter, and you're going to see that reflected in the
sneaky stalking.
maybe a little bit. You're going to see it reflected both in the fight kit with the ability to kind of move around the fight a little bit and jump in, pound skank as you want.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Maybe it is going to be
and then
similar
you'll
to
see
Shaman
the
then.
stalking hunter aspect also
By the
shown
sounds
through
of it.
the feat kit. And you
Like
will
a
always be
long-range
stalked by
Shaman.
them. You're going to feel
Whatever
like
that
there's eyes everywhere.
means.
Through death.
Even
through death. Yes.
What do you mean with that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'll see later, but there's no limit to you will never feel safe on the battlefield, which I think is going to be great. And I also feel there's going to be a bit of a meta shift for all the times where you're like, well, I'm in a one-on-one that I'm winning. Everything's going to go my way. Maybe you won't be. Maybe you're going to be just chilling on your home point. Maybe that's not going to go super well. And maybe you're going to turn out to be the weak, wounded gazelle running away, and it's going to like
That's where the surprise comes in.
exactly.
The unofficial
Interesting.
tagline is basically "Be afraid," right?
Yeah.
Go.
Maybe he can teleport a bit like Shaolin.
And
That's what I'm
looking
what I'm
forward
feeling
to
right now.
hearing, just everything we have to divulge today on the hero. Raphael's going to be giving us a historical perspective, but first, Ian, can you walk us through the narrative?
Let's talk narrative.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I want all the story, all
Right.
the lore.
Let's talk about, in TU1 we had the conquistadors. They returned to Heathmore. They after visiting the New World. Now we can say
Yeah,
Aztec.
we say Aztec.
Yeah,
We
let's
can
do
say
it.
Aztec as
Yeah.
much as we want.
No more secrets, finally. So they returned.
You have to be
after
so
plundering the
careful with what they
empire.
say, like,
They brought back all this gold. They had this big.
must be
party.
pretty hard
They
to
told,
keep it
like, tales
under
of
wraps
grand
with like previous
achievements.
streams when they
But,
know
hey, here's a
like
spoiler.
3 months down the
They
line what
lied.
they're
They
revealing.
made shit up. Everything they said was everything they did was horrible. Actually.
Yeah, it's
and,
dual wielding,
they said they
this
brought
hero.
back this lone prisoner,
Spear
this final
and
survivor
a
of the
club
Aztec
with
Empire, but it's
obsidian-
not true.
Obsidian
There's live?
No,
shards in it.
unheard of. Unheard of.
Which is
so yeah,
unique
this
to
our main
Aztec,
Aztec hero, the OCELOTL, our main
warriors of
caged
old.
prisoner. He willingly gave himself up. He
As far as I'm aware.
surrendered knowingly, so that the rest of his people would be kept safe, while the others like okay, we got
Just
the
kind of
last
like, I'm
Aztec.
the last one, promise.
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he totally played
there's definitely not more people behind me.
No, he played a Joker card and said like, "Take me in," and So yeah, so now he's just lying in wait. We know the execution's coming at sunup, but actually, what he knows, is that his people followed him. They've fallen back to Heathmore. They're coming, and they're here to exact brutal vengeance.
I think that's the name of the season.
That is the name of the season.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
We
that
said the thing.
snake. That is grim.
That's a lot of
It's
confidence,
smart,
simply
clever,
putting your life
but
into the hands
it's
of
grim.
your friends, and
That
oh
is
yeah,
grim.
they'll be there on
Not a
time.
massive fan of
I
snakes.
mean, it's the OCELOTL.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
It's cool like that.
And I
New
think
map.
There's a lot of that narrative that's
Not
been baked
sure.
into the map
I think probably a
realization.
reskin
Also,
like the
some
one we're
things
seeing here
players can look for.
Absolutely.
On
While
Shard.
you're playing, keep an eye out.
That's
We
probably
have
what we're
a
gonna
lot
get,
of
which
dead
is better than
people,
nothing.
stores. It's some gruesome.
I've heard that new
some-
maps take
not to say
absolutely
not gruesome,
ages
but
to make.
also slightly
Quite
comical.
creative.
Like we
Creative,
probably
let's
have to
say that.
sacrifice having a
I'm
new
pretty sure I saw
hero
someone inside a snack.
in
There
6
is a
months
snake,
to
there's
have a
guy
new map,
leaking
probably.
from the chain right there.
You
So
probably shouldn't be leaking. That's not a good thing.
Don't leak at Ubisoft. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty more. Just keep an eye out because we're telling the story of the OCELOTL who arrived in Heathmore, and they're leaving no stones unturned.
As well they should.
As well they should.
Yeah. So I am super excited for like all that is coming out this season. I'm looking forward to the lore orders. There's going to be some fun stuff in there, I know. But Raphael,
Hey,
let's talk a little bit about the historical perspective that went into bringing this hero into Heathmore. And
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess first we could discuss the fact that there is a historian working on this game. Samurai and Viking game. What is that? I guess it's unexpected, but the fact is, For Honor is inspired by history in pretty much all of its aspects. How our heroes look, how they sound, how they fight, why they fight. It's not that we are an historical game. We don't try to be historical. We don't try to teach you anything, but we want to make a game that's fun. Okay, well, first, and then a world that's coherent, that will take the players in. And we've believed for a long time, and we still believe, that history is a good starting point to provide all of this. So my job is to provide inspiration to help the team. It's a basis, We will go away from it at some point, but at the start, it's like that, and then we go as we want.
authentic versus accurate.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and a good example of that is
Very
the
interesting.
Aztecs in history. They weren't known as sailors, and but in our version of history,
Yeah, 4 months ago.
I
My
said when
last
they
stream was
followed,
4 months
their
ago.
leader home,
Not
because,
something
in
I
our
do
version,
often.
After the cataclysm,
And yeah, another Marching Fire expansion for For Honor would be insane if they could do it.
So that's why they were able to.
And they released 4 heroes in one go. That would be
Jack, I've got this gold. You wanna
ideal,
know how to build a ship?
but unlikely, unfortunately.
Or feathers, or anything else that the Aztecs would have.
But it comes back to the believability aspect. This is one of our core pillars on For Honor. We want, to be.
Don't know if this is going to be
but we
a.
want you to be
There's going to be a female option for this warrior. I think it's going to be gender locked to male.
You want the sword to be recognizable, feel the same.
We had
way.
Pirate and Aethera that were gender locked to female.
And
We
now
had
with the
Magi,
Aztec,
who's
the
obviously just
club and
male, so
spear
now
to give that
just getting a male
believable
Ocelotl.
Key
I think.
moment of, like, feel every blow, every
They haven't
pop.
shown a female anyway in any of the trailers or other.
So,
material.
Any last notes before we?
I really would like to give a big shout out to the narrative team and the audio team, because we did something really special with this hero. We made him talk and speak in Nahuatl. And this is not something that's
In
used,
history, yeah, that's
really,
definitely gonna be a female
seen often in
warrior
video
somewhere
games.
there. Aztec-wise.
So you may have seen that none
Just
of us
not in-game, I
speaks
don't think.
fluently in Nahuatl right now. So we had to go and work with a real actor, an actor that's called Rufino Romero. You see him right there. And he actually speaks Nahuatl, modern Nahuatl, which is different from the classical Nahuatl that the Aztecs or Mexicas would have been talking. We had, after that, to go to external experts that helped us to translate the line from Ian or the rest of the narrative team. It was not an easy process because sometimes the lines would be too long when you translated them, so we had to go back. But in the end, it works, and I'm really, really proud that we made that effort. It's one of the big aspects that you'll be enjoying in the game, I guess, and that will bring you once again into the world of For Honor.
And I love Rufino's work. He just
Great guy.
Yeah,
He's
just
Yeah.
so humble and just a really great.
Dedicated,
great human.
it
Nailed
was
it.
great.
I mean,
Yeah.
he is the OCELOTL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for those of you, who thank you, Stefan, Ian.
I think that
and
means
Raphael
Always a
for
pleasure.
joining
Come
me.
to me or something. I remember that from the beginning of the trailer.
But we've got more with the artistic direction. But first, quick mention: we will have an event
Probably
pass, for the
hear a lot of
the
OCELOTL voice lines in the next couple of
August
weeks
17th.
after it's
So
released.
some of the things you can earn here, we've got the Tenochtitlan outfit coming at you, as well as we've got the Light of Tenochtitlan ornament, and right, we've got the path effect. So you can look for those and many other things in the event pass. And thank you again, all three of you, for joining me on this segment.
Always. See you on the battlefield.
On the
Thanks,
battlefield.
thanks for having
I'd
me.
love to try some voice acting. I don't know what I'd be a good voice actor for though.
Usual experience, I
Don't know
guess.
what kind of character would suit me. My
It's gonna
voice.
be awesome for me.
There's a lot
But
more
yeah,
that goes
we'll be
into
right
voice
back.
acting than
Historians
people think.
typically forget all
Like-
about history.
Yeah, they never remember everything.
No. No.
You need to prepare a lot for it, I believe.
But yeah, stick around because we've got artistic direction coming up next.
Alright, so we've got artistic stuff next, then we have the actual gameplay. That's actually a shorter stream than I thought. So we got the gameplay, patch notes, and then that's it. Fair. To the point, to the point. Any voice acting experience before? No, I have not. Just doing YouTube, basically, making sure my microphone is turned on. That's about my experience, which I failed at, by the way, at the beginning of the stream because I didn't have any audio for my actual desktop for a few minutes, but that has been sorted. If I streamed more often, I'm sure I'd have been more on it. But this was just a last-minute decision of mine, so very happy to have you guys joining me. I think there's a fair few of you in here, so good to see. I think I need to get another monitor as well because I've got one screen over here. And my camera's obviously here, so I'm looking like over here. I need to have like a screen here so that I can like look towards you guys. So yeah, it's interesting what they were saying earlier about like they were referring to Dominion and having an OCELOTL like in the game and then someone just standing on a home point and that being dangerous. So I'm getting the idea with him being a hunter that he's going to have like Shaolin's teleport ability potentially. That's what I'm feeling, or some sort of hunter prey / predator ability where he can like pounce on you without looking. Probably one of his passives will be that he can't be
Welcome
seen
back.
on the
It's
minimap.
artistic
but
direction time.
guess
And
we'll
we've got
find
some more
out.
Firsts today, joining us again for the first time on the Den is Alex and Kiara. How are you both doing today?
Fantastic. Really excited.
So before we jump into the artistic direction behind the OCELOTL, why don't you both tell us a little bit about what it is that you do here?
Yes, so I'm Alex. I'm the production manager on the character team, which is the ridiculously talented team that makes all of the new heroes, armor sets, and hero skins. I also coordinate with our team in Chengdu that makes all of the weapons, all of the outfits, ornaments, mood effects, and armor variations.
Hi, and I'm Kiara. I do texture art. I also coordinate a little bit with Chengdu for validation and other fun stuff.
So all the materials,
Yes.
a lot about rocks.
Especially this season.
Awesome. So why don't we just jump right into kind of the high level stuff?
Yes, so for the OCELOTL, we really tried to make a respectful adaptation into our game. like Raphael was mentioning, we had a lot of collaboration with historians trying to work that in a little bit. So for our first set, we really went for the Jaguar Warrior, that classic look. Yeah. Yeah, well,
Might be able to go
the
full
Warrior
screen, actually.
OCELOTL, is what the Jaguar Warrior class would have been called in OCELOTL.
And so we've got some gorgeous concept art.
Yeah, that's
up
better. I don't know
here,
why I
and
wasn't
you
doing that
guys
before.
Traditionally start with like the 2D.
Yes.
And then kind of work, and then build that up to a 3D.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting there. We're getting there with this
So,
streaming
we have
business.
all these lovely references from our historians. How do we go and adapt that? How do we translate that into 3D? So we'll take a lot of these images and put them together into the concept, and then we have this meeting where
They've got the
everyone
shield in
can
there. They've
work
got the
on
shield
set,
in
get
the
together
concept art,
to
so
actually talk about how
maybe
we
it'll
do
be a
it.
feat. Or actually,
So we'll have the
he's got it on his back, hasn't he?
concept
So maybe he
artist,
can use a
Marvel
shield.
who work on it, the
Maybe he'll
texture
have
artists who
3
work on
weapons.
it,
That would be a
Ritter who
first,
work on
actually.
it, along with artistic and technical
Ooh, that would be
direction.
interesting.
Just
3
to figure
weapons
out
would
how to
be
do that. So that's where we kind of
different
have a lot of questions like
thing
How
entirely.
does this leg piece work? How does it fit around? How does it buckle up? Where's the buckle?
Oh
Right,
yeah,
so
maybe
draw it in 2D,
he could
you
have
can just put
either
something somewhere and you don't have
like
to worry about
shield and spear,
like
Exactly.
how it
shield
actually
and
matches up.
Exactly. Whereas
club,
as this, we're really
or
trying
spear
to
and
ensure that
spear and club.
woodwork
Maybe he
is
can like
conformed.
alternate between the 3.
And so
That would be cool.
I skip over.
Yeah, because look, he's got a shield on his back there.
No.
Okay, so I think in addition to this, like we can see.
Could
that,
they do that?
OCELOTL
Could that
has,
happen?
Like a lot of there's a lot of different textures going on here, a lot of different materials, and Kiara, I think you have a lot to do with that. Right? Oh, sorry, guys.
Does,
Did I
yes.
skip
I do, but
Yes, we were going to talk.
Could
a
just
little
be
bit
part
about
of his
what
armor. Who
the
knows? But I'm
accessories were in the
hopeful.
sets.
Oh,
A
yes,
lot of
yes,
characters
yes,
have
yes,
had other
yes.
weapons and stuff
Yeah.
included in their armor
Yeah,
sets,
exactly.
so
So
might be
set
going
one,
down
the Jaguars,
the
one of them,
wrong
we
route
also
there,
have
but
Eagle,
could be different.
and a
Could be
snake.
cool.
And so in this one, yes.
We're gonna have a snack set. Nice.
Yeah, other characters like Shaman have got shields on their back.
And
Just
so
an
the
idea, just
materials
'cause
was
on
a
that
fun choice that we had,
Artist
for
impression
this.
that they
So
had
we
there, they had the
don't
shield like separate.
Instead what we
So
have
it's
is
kinda like there was
obsidian and
emphasis on that.
turquoise, and we have some beads that were made from nuts. And
Don't know, just putting that
yeah,
out there.
so what the set has there is that the animal sort of helmet, and then at his waist he'll have an obsidian knife and his death whistle.
Death whistle right here. It is
Yeah.
ridiculously loud.
It is.
I wish I could blow it on the show, but all of you
Yeah.
guys would go deaf, like at home.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
And I think we've got the Jaguar set. We mentioned Snek. There's
Yes.
there's also some ceremonial.
We also have a set 2. Yes. Yes, and in the set 2, this one is
Ooh,
based on
this could
warrior
be the
feats,
higher
would
rep
also accompany
level
the Aztec
stuff.
style. So this
Oh,
one has
can't
the
wait to
ceremonial
start
masks.
repping them up and getting
These of
that
them
awesome
are
fashion going.
Demon and death.
I don't know what the
Death
quickest
Yeah.
mode to rep up is actually these days. I've been doing a
We
lot of
also
elimination
have
recently. I don't
pink
know whether that's
and
actually the
red
best
buttons
mode.
extension
I feel like
battle,
Breach
much like the
or
belt of the first
Dominion
set
is.
as well, which
but
would be earned for taking
don't
first
know.
place.
Nice.
Oh, there we
All
go.
you Cape fans at home.
Ooh, his club there, his that's fully metallic there, and his
Now we're safe.
spear.
Now we're safe. We can talk
That's
about
right.
Keep calling it a club. I think it's called like a macwa whittle or something. It's not
So
technically a sword.
Talk to us about the materials because I see
Uh,
you don't just have these.
so
like,
yeah,
flat
as usual, I
feathers going
get
on.
these.
Oh, no. Yeah, we've got a lot of
things,
fun stuff.
mixed
the
up sometimes.
materials this time, the big challenge was is that all the materials used for OCELOTL is raw materials compared to the Conquistador, which really had transformed materials like metal. You know, the
Yeah, I'm not seeing the shield on
minerals found were hammered into
the,
beautiful ornate armor, but in
on
this
that on
case,
these
it's just
showcases here. So maybe it's just the 2 weapons, which is fine. But
turquoise that they
it would be cool in
polished
future if they had like a
put it around your belt,
a
call
choice
it
of
a
3
day.
weapons.
You can see
Could
that
be an
the
idea.
materials are really raw. They're from nature. They're just purely also respected like that.
Man, it's gonna have an all parry. You mean like an all guard?
Yeah, so we did a lot of work.
It's not
on
impossible.
turquoise.
With him having 2 weapons, I feel like
The
he's going to be
minerals on
more
the
of a
obsidian,
offensive
which is
character
a
though.
really fun thing to work with.
He might have. He could always have a
You'll see
deflect or a
that
crushing
there's
counter,
variety in it too. Like it's not just a turquoise bead that
or a
gets
superior
the
block,
colors the
if
same.
that's
There's
something
depth
else
in the blues,
well that
depth
people
in
are
the
thinking of.
golds. The woods, they're more of a reddish tint.
Ooh, the skull
whereas
mask. That's
the
good.
nature over there in the Southern Americas, wood is
Ooh,
more
that's
reddish
the
compared
best
to
looking
here,
one. I
which
think
is more
that's
on the grayish
potentially my
brownish.
pick. I'd say.
And the feathers. which we really,
I'm
really
excited about
oh.
Oh, there's another variation of the
Feathers
skull
beautiful.
mask. Yeah,
So,
that looks pretty cool.
They're from South America, right? So all the birds are crazy.
Good for
colors
the
and
dark outfit theme.
funky patterns. And we really wanted to keep that, but give the players the opportunity to actually put variety and use your color scheme and your team color to modify the
Telling me
feathers.
I can adjust with my color palette.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there is variety in the feathers. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Variety
Especially
in
as
feathers. That's what I
the
said in my
third
video yesterday. That's what I'm looking for. I'm happy.
feathers have these little metallic
We can
hues
change
to
the
it.
colour of the feathers.
Colors shift a little bit when you put them in the light, and it's
There we go.
amazing. It got me really excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to spend
Priorities.
some time in the customization menu.
Yeah.
That's probably where like 60%.
Yeah, I'll probably have a crush encounter, I think.
if we're being honest.
That club looks like a weapon that you can like attack when
Most
someone
of our
else is
time
attacking
spent
and
thinking
still
about
come out on
that
top.
too, and thinking about you guys at home. That and another very important
Yeah, the low
thing is
rep
that, again, you
armor
know,
I think
you
is
see the respect
they've
nature
improved low rep armor
Aztec,
drastically over the
the
last
way they
few
use it
heroes.
isn't like
And I
how,
feel like they've done that
uh,
because
the
people
Asian cultures
who are
or
new to the
European
game
cultures did, which
pick up
is
these
very,
characters
you know,
and then they'll start
Awesome.
playing them and obviously they'll be low rep
yeah,
and they'll be
exactly,
thinking,
chips
oh,
off the armor and
I
all
don't
that.
want to have to
Here it's
rep up
more
ages to
dirt,
look cool.
it's thicker. You can
So they just
actually
thought, yeah,
see
just give them awesome
the-
armor
the
to begin with.
marks done on the
I feel like that's
characters
what
as
they've
the
thought
warrior
about.
priest would go on the OCELOTL and put
Oh,
it
so you can see
himself.
like the finger tracks.
Yeah, the finger
stuff.
tracks.
Yeah.
We thought of everything here.
nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
So a little thicker, a little more goop.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Really pigmented.
Oh, the gold and blue is always a
I love
nice
that. And,
color combo.
It's not just the armors for the new hero. We've also got we've got a new set for Shinobi coming out as well. So we've got
Shinobi.
Set Hang on,
That
we
is
gotta, we
that
gotta
is
give Max a second.
that is
'cause
one
we
of
gotta let
my
this video finish.
one of my mains.
We're gonna show you the new set for Shinobi here in just a sec.
Gold medals on the weapons.
I need to actually get a new armor set for Shinobi because been a while since I've updated my
the hammering
fashion.
and the gold, and you can see the shaping of the obsidian on the weapons. We put a lot of thought and passion in our textures. So
And it shows.
yeah.
Shows. There's one of the weapon sets got a lot of orange in it. I think
Oh.
that's gonna be the one we'll grind for. But yeah, I mentioned the new Shinobi set. So let's take a look at set 5.
Ooh, Shinobi. Hello.
With this new mask.
Eagle
So,
Shinobi.
this is
Is that an
as we
eagle?
announced previously in the year. The new
Eagle
set for
Shinobi.
Shinobi coming out. So for everyone's favorite ninja.
And some sort of other bird as well.
Is that it's like a what are they called, the little turtle guys in the water, the kappas.
Kappa.
Yeah, they've got kind of some kappa vibe to it there.
Raven.
And that's not
Raven.
all. We've got more
Pigeon.
armor variations
Could be a
coming
pigeon.
for the Viking, the Wulin, and the Outlanders. So as we announced earlier this year, we've got new armor variations coming every season for different factions. So you can see them at the bottom here. So in October, we've got Knights and Samurai coming, and then we've got another,
Nice.
Viking, Wulin, and Outlander coming in February. So
Yes, these were all worked on by the Chengdu team. So shout out to Chengdu. And thanks for all your hard work.
yeah, they do such a great job, and I know they work with us very closely so that we can get it just right. So
They're really great.
yes, and so thank you so much for joining me on the Den. Hope you guys enjoyed your first time.
Yes.
Can't wait to have you guys back. And you guys at home, stick around because we're going to be talking gameplay. So for those of you who are like, show me the gameplay.
Here we
maybe
go.
Time is coming. So thank
Gameplay,
you
that's what
once
we're here
again.
for.
Thank you.
The
And,
main
we've got- I
point
think
of
we've
this
got,
whole
time.
thing.
We've got an armor variation video. That's right. And then we'll be back with the gameplay.
Raiders looking mean. Oh, Berserkers looks good. Kind of a dark outfit there. Highlander looking like he's just been to the barbers. Shaman has sorted out her hair again. Lack of hair, I should say. Valkyrie's gone mad with the horns. They've kind of gone with the dark aesthetic for these armor sets. So these armor sets I don't think are related to the Aztec season, hence why they're not like blue and green colours. I think this is kind of like a yearly thing. Oh, Pirates looks nice as well. Medjai's decent, looking good with all that bling around his chest there. More chainmail for Aethera. Yeah, Aethera and Medjai and Pirate, they need more armor sets obviously because they were added later, so they have less. I think Shinobi's helmet is going to look... So that helmet there, I think that might look better paired with some of the other sets that he has. The helmet's good. I mean, the armor's good as well, like for the arms and the chest. But obviously the helmet there is the focus. And I think someone said, like, helmets with hoods look really good in this game. Right, here we go. The gameplay. What we're going to get. We're going to get full block, crushing counters, superior blocks, bleed, special ability, stance switching. How's it gonna play out? What do you guys think?
Welcome back, Warriors! We're so excited to have you with us for this next segment here. You learned a ton about the OCELOTL from their background, their history, their art direction, but now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty with the gameplay. And who better to do that than the person joining me on the couch today, our Lord and Savior, JC. Welcome back to the show, JC.
Hello. I'm really happy to be here. I was reading the Twitch chat before.
Yeah.
I'm finally here. I know people were
I
calling
know,
out for me. I'm finally.
They were worried. They were like.
Ritual and everything.
I did, yeah. Yeah, just so you know, that works in the office too. If you mention JC a couple times, he'll just show up at your desk, and it works great. So good job, chat. We saw you out there. But also,
can't have a live stream
today,
without
on
JC.
the couch for the very first time, we
Just
have
can't have it.
Daniel and Jimmy, who are from the animation team, here to talk about all the animation stuff.
A lot of new people,
say hi
actually.
to the chat, to the
They've had this stream.
Yeah, hello,
I've
hello.
noticed.
I'm super happy to be here with all of you. Warriors 10 is my first one. And yeah, I hope you will like the animations for this hero.
Yeah, and hello. Nowadays they call me the cooler Daniel.
Oh.
But usually I go by the name Jimmy. So nice to meet you all. First Warriors Den as well. Very happy to be here.
I love it. Awesome. So that's great. And I also see that YouTube maybe brought a little something.
Yes,
to
right.
show off
Not
to
a
the
gift,
chat.
but
We got
not a
we got our mocap weapons ready to fight it off in the studio. But no,
yeah,
not really.
no. Only one animator. Or
Yeah.
You gotta hold it up for the camera. So
Yeah,
right,
hold it
yeah.
up for the
like,
camera.
you gotta see. There you go. Yeah. So this is always fun because again, Daniel, Jimmy, two of the lead animators working on the OCELOTL, and they, these are the actual mocap props, right?
Yeah,
we
that's
use
right.
in the studio for these. These things are huge, so you get a really good sense of scale. Do you want to maybe tell us a bit what it was like working with these?
well, what I can say is the first day, even not the first day of the mocap shoot, during the rehearsal, just we broke it.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
the actor just broke it, and then we had to say, oh my god, what we are doing, so we had to come up with a solution for it. And then, yeah, it was a little fun fact.
We
about
made it work. We made it
We
work.
made it work,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
was-
think you can see it there.
Was the
I actually got to
solution-
hold the Medjai
always.
Oh, you
mocap
can see it
weapons
everywhere,
when
like,
when I went there
That's
last
the
year
visual
for the
That'll be fine.
last year's
All right.
live stream.
I
It's
think
pretty
that's
cool.
Great. So yeah, thank you for showing that off. I always think it's
Pretty
really cool
pretty
get a
awesome to
little-
actually
get
see it
some of
and
that
actually
behind
feel
the
it
scenes
in
stuff
person.
That's so thanks for bringing those cool props
For
on.
sure.
But I think
Yeah,
now
they're
we're
pretty
gonna get a
heavy as
chance
well.
to maybe,
They're
pass it
actually
over
like
to
fully
Jason to take a
life-size
look at the
stuff,
character
so
in-game as well. So
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
you need to
first
be,
we'll talk a
you
little bit
need to know what you're doing
about, what kind of our
to use them.
pillars
Oh,
of
yeah,
this hero
yeah,
and
of
stuff,
course,
right? So
of course.
when as most of you have watched Warriors and before and kind of heard me talk about these things. Whenever we design a hero, we're trying to go with what our pillars are going to be gameplay-wise, right? And so this being like a
That's a good
hunter,
idea, actually.
stalker,
Poison
the
for
character
stamina
that does
drain.
that, but
Bit
also
like,
somebody that we find is
what's it called?
like very aggressive
Bleed
and
for
efficient, right? So
health,
once you
obviously.
get in, you're efficient, you're aggressive. So that's kind of like what we were going for. So that's we'll see that reflected in the gameplay. So it's kind of interesting.
Nice.
But at the same time, what we want to make sure is that like sometimes we make heroes don't want to do something that's completely 100% different from everything, because then it makes it too difficult to kind of understand, right? So if we kind of can compare two heroes slow a little bit to other heroes, this hero as you will see, has
Welcome
an
everyone else who has just joined us as well.
and it's kinda
Thank you
like
guys for tuning in
what
to
we
one of
did
my
with
rare
Shaolin, we
streams,
left
which
an
I
option, buttons.
don't
But,
do that often.
this-
Someone pointed out earlier that the last stream I did was
just a
4
little
months
bit
ago,
in
so
terms of
it's been a
maybe
while.
really
But
interesting.
always
Then
nice
we can
to
talk
catch up
about
with
the
you
people
guys
as well as we go
every
through
now and
it.
then in person.
So let's get
My voice then,
started.
in person.
So first
All right,
of
here we
all,
go.
you can see him walk there, looks pretty cool, you know. all
The
that good
gameplay.
stuff. Sprinting looks great.
Oh, I like the ominous walk off the other one there,
That
actually.
looks pretty nice, you know. We're gonna do like
Running
a
attack for 15 damage.
So
That's his
it's all
first
in the
move we've seen.
pre-rolling, you know. This
Oh, the animations.
death
Oh,
whistle.
Straight off the bat.
Just
Right.
carry it on you at all times.
Let me do it again so we can have a better view of it. There we go.
Amazing.
This is really, really cool.
Very, very nice. Very cool.
It sounds
Oh, I do actually love the way
Right,
he's
okay, so
just
let's
like
look at
standing.
the rest of this hero's attack, because that's kind of interesting.
It's all in the
So as I
subtle
was
animations.
mentioning, we can have an infinite chain, but it's a little bit different this time, right? Because normally when we have like something like Shaolin, you can do like like light to heavy, light to heavy, light to heavy. But that's kind of cool. But then we went, how do we take this a step further, right? And so what we came up with is every single option that you typically have. So light, heavy, zone, and bash work everywhere. So I can do
Bash
light,
as well.
I can do light into a bash. I can do light into heavy, into a zone, into a bash, into all sorts of crazy things.
Oh
right?
gosh.
So the rules for chaining for this hero is
You can
every time
chain
you do the
everything.
same button, or so the same type of action twice in a row, right? So if you do light, light, heavy, heavy, bash, bash, zone, zone, you go into a finisher, that's where you stop. The finishers typically are like a little bit stronger, they have like better stuff, so that's kind of interesting. And you can alternate them constantly. And each option that you have has different options. Like they have different properties and where we can go. So it's kind of like pushing some of the stuff we have a little bit more to the extreme and going into that, right? And so what's also interesting is that
That's gonna
we
make it a
really
lot
built this
simpler
hero to be every single light attack
to
is
understand.
using the spear, and every single heavy attack uses the club. When we zone, sometimes it uses the club, sometimes like you see the finisher uses both at the same time. It's kind of cool there. So I know this this caused not problems, but it's challenging for animation, right? That really have that's different because it's the first time we have a hero that has two really, really distinct weapons, like real weapons, not like a shield and whatever. We have some characters that have like some heroes like Peacekeeper that has like a dagger and a sword, but they're kind of similar and they're not used in the same way. So what kind of challenges do you guys face when we're working on this?
If I may, if in a way it kind of focused animation because it was like a very direct way to see like, okay, well, heavy's always going to be the club and light's always going to be the spear. So in a way, it focused a lot of our animation work. We were able to immediately discern and immediately make clear the animations were going to be light with the spear and all that. So that was good.
Another thing is that with the spear, we aim to have range, okay, with those pokes and things. And then with the club, we went more for the heaviness, feeling the body weight, feeling that power. And then if we talk about the chain, we went and took advantage of that inertia that the character was having, that momentum he was having. And we made a decision like, are we making him a spin or not? So, yeah, like that, like you're showing it right now.
Yeah. So sometimes you're spinning, sometimes you're not. It's like to make sure
Strong
With
offense.
the club, it's
Strong
really
offense by the
spin
looks of it.
because we have a lot of
And those
speed,
numbers
a
as
lot
well
of
look
energy
pretty strong.
going on.
26,
And
28
then with
for
the
chain
spears,
heavies.
we go for the range.
One of the big challenges I find we had for the openers and finishers.
It's what I
was
expected though.
bringing the chain together.
I mean, having two
We had to
weapons,
really
you'd
make sure
you'd
that
imagine him to
every player
be
was
offensive
perfect
rather than a weapon and a shield.
Yeah, the
Like
flow of the
then they're going to
character
be
was,
half
really
defensive.
important because we only
So
had
it
about,
makes
like,
sense.
3 frames in order to make transitions between the one attack to the other one in chain. So to put all together with the endless possibilities, it was sort of a challenge.
Yeah.
But,
big challenge,
yeah. we wanted the player to have that feeling that he's never out of the chain.
The chains always look
'Cause one of the things
bad,
that,
like when you first see them, but
like you're talking about
after a
like
few
free
weeks,
frames,
like
and stuff, like,
once you
so
play
if-
against it, I'm
and
sure
I
it'll
can
get
feel like in more
it'll get a lot easier
Yes, of
to
course.
counter and
But
recognize. So
essentially
I
what-
wouldn't
what-
worry
what,
if it
what
looks
we're
like
talking
he's
about
going to be
here is that
crazy with his
we
attacks.
tried to make sure when we're designing this hero to have almost like a blender-like quality, right? We want you to when you're facing an ocelotl that you're scared, and to have that sort of pressure.
Turn up the video volume.
That you really felt that pressure. We made sure that the chain link timings were as short as possible. So often enough, when you do if you do a light into a heavy, you see it goes very, very, very fast.
I've turned
with the
it
next
up.
Attack. You can delay them a little
Let me
bit, of
know,
course, right, if you want.
that's all right.
but
Hope
you
it
don't
should
have
be.
to. And if you go really, really quick, you get that sense of pressure, of that constant aggression, and really feeling like you're in a blender, right? That's kind of what we were going for. So that's super, super interesting. And but it does. That's like you were mentioning.
Yeah.
It creates a lot of challenges in terms of, well, how do we make this look good? How do we make this feel good? But that's a definite big challenge. That's really cool. I'm happy you guys really pulled it off because
Yes.
it's a big thing. So that's great.
And I also think it's cool, like when you look back and you hear kind of the narrative aspects of it that Ian and Raph talked about a bit, with this this character and the story that was built for him. It really was like you made a very angry boy, right? Like he's very angry, right? And so you feel that a lot in his.
There is
Hey,
something
thank you
that
for
I
the
always say,
donation, by the
is
way.
that we have strong words here.
Much
strong
appreciated.
feelings like fury or rage, whatever, brutal, vengeance. So he has a lot going on inside of him.
Yeah.
And our job is to translate emotions into motion.
Ah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
tagline.
We had in our minds in every single attack, Jim and I,
Sure,
like
yeah.
Amelie, of course, she's not here. But yeah, we try to focus on that in order to make him strong. In the anticipation to build that energy, quick releases, and then during the recovery, like he gets again into balance.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, really cool stuff. Awesome. So
All right, so let's keep going a little bit into the hero's like basic hit, right? So like I was saying, every single light, like the neutral lights are 500 ms, like we normally have. Chain lights are all 400 ms. They tag people when you dodge after you do a heavy or a bash or whatever. So again, a lot of pressure there. Light finishers are 400 as well. So if I go light into light, that's 400. I don't think anybody can react to these things. Like we've done some tests with
I
some
cannot.
pro players. Yeah, right. That's the thing.
we can. For sure.
Heavies, chain, so the chain heavies are 700 ms, really, really fast and with really quick chain link timings, again to keep up the pressure. Heavy finishers are unblockable in every single stance, big swings there. I really like put a lot of like effort into like the camera angles and the
Yeah,
They are my favorite attacks.
Yeah.
It's one of my
finishers.
favorites as well.
yeah, they look really, really cool, right?
Made it so it was very, very heavy on all
yeah.
fronts.
Yeah, they do feel heavy, even though they're quick. You do
Yeah.
feel that a lot of the heaviness. Well, so it's really, really good. And then we have zone attacks, which are always armored. The opener one, like it gains armor a little bit later. But when you go into chains, you get armor at first frame. They're a bit slower, but the idea there is like you're in a group fight, whatever, you typically want to use your zone attacks. So making them armor makes you harder to peel. That goes well. Heavy zone finishers as well. Like and they switch sides too, so you're not super predictable. Again, you can use your armor to trade against dodge attacks against certain things, so that's great. And then we have bashes, right? So we also have an opener bash, so from front dodge into bash. We go into this.
Nice.
One of the things that we'll see as we go towards this is that every single bash this hero has deals direct damage.
Okay.
Never has confirmed damage afterwards, although getting a 400 MS light afterwards is almost guaranteed. There's still ways to get out of it.
Yeah.
So the neutral bash, pretty simple, 500 MS bash, up for front dodge. So that works quite well. And we have the chain version that I'm going to go into here, which is slower, deals direct damage, but is feintable, right? We've been doing a lot of feintable bashes. Especially in this hero, it's super scary. We've had some players that tested it out a little bit with us, and they're like, yeah, this is really, really cool. Well. And last but not least, we have the bash finisher, which is 500 MS, deals quite a bit of damage. You have to make a read because you cannot dodge after this if I throw a light. So it's a lot, again, like a lot of that pressure and that build up there into going to what am I going to do, what's my opponent going to do, what is the OCELOTL going to do against me, and it's super scary. And with those bashes too, like we have like really unique animations here, like everything's super different. I can go into this one where you do a big pummel strike. The finisher has kind of crust cut there. So What kind of inspiration you guys take for these type of things?
Oh, at first all the bashes were pummel strikes. I believe the opener was the right side, and then for the in chain we had the pummel strike from the spear. At a certain point, we're like, these are all pummel strikes. So JC had the great idea of making the scissor move, which I found really great. And it's a really vicious move. You kind of feel like Daniel was saying, the rage of the character through that move. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that move looks pretty cool.
All right. So outside of this, we have dodge attacks.
Doesn't do
They're all
a
on
huge
lights.
amount of damage
They
though.
don't have massive trajectories.
I feel like it would
Again,
kill you straight away
we have,
in
like,
real life.
sometimes downsides to the hero,
If,
but also like it
someone
feels
did that to you.
really natural to have quick dodge attacks with this. Front dodge light as well there. So there's a little jump here in a bit of distance. That's pretty cool. Works quite well. But there's one more little thing I think that we haven't done.
Oh yes,
right?
that's very true.
That's quite different with this hero. So one of the things that we really wanted to feel, because we have all of this, right? We have the feat set that we're also going to talk about afterwards. But one of the core aspects is the hunting, the stalking, right? And so as we were developing the hero more and more and more, we're like, you know, we're kind of missing that aspect a little bit. So we ended up creating a new kind of stalker stance, prowl stance. You access it by holding down on the
another stance.
right stick. and
Called
you
it.
go into this, right? So when you are in
Bit like
this
Shaman,
stance,
actually.
there's
Yeah.
a couple of things.
Kind of like
First of all, you can't block.
Can't
so
block.
It's really not meant to be like
So
something
it's
defensive.
a bit like
even though,
Highlander.
like, it's not super visible, but when you go into it, you get you do get a little bit of dodge range. Kind of like with Nobushi, it's the same timing as Nobushi, so you can dodge attacks with it.
Yeah.
So it works quite well. And then the other thing that's interesting here is that you actually walk faster when you are in this stance than when you're not. So an example, if I'm strafing to the right here, you see like the speed I'm going at. But when I'm in that prowl stance, I'm going much faster. Faster front, faster back, faster everything. So the idea here is that we really want people to be able to use this stance to kind of like be, you know, there's a group fight happening. I'm hunting my prey. What am I going to do? And you get there. So when you are in this stance, you have one single attack that you can perform with the heavy button, which is this. So when you perform it, you jump forward, leap by quite a bit. And if your attack connects, or you can move from really far, you get into a bit of a pin. The club gets embedded in the opponent, slice it off.
So it's just the one
Really,
attack.
really good. This acts as a heavy, so you can do your heavy chains afterwards. It's a heavy opener, like what we have as a heavy openers, and it's super effective. It's not the best tool in 1v1. I can warn people right away. It's
Yeah,
not
that's like a
meant to be
ganking
used as
tool,
a
though.
1v1 tool,
Yeah.
but it's excellent at peeling. Right. So if you're again far in a group fight, you might be off screen. People don't really see you too much. You get into it, and then you see an opening. Boom, you go, you strike.
Yeah, I mean, more useful in
It's not
elimination,
visible or anything, but
dominion,
it's really- so you have to commit
breach,
to it,
that kind of
but it
move.
feels really good.
In a
This happened
1v1,
a
you're
lot
obviously
in testing
focusing
too,
on
just so
the other
people know,
person the whole
you know, we were,
time, so
like,
you're not
testing it out,
really
you
gonna
do just, you know,
jump
playing
at
a
them
Dominion
and
game, then suddenly
scare
this-
them if you're
this
just looking at them the
OCELOTL
whole
comes
time.
flying in from off screen, you're like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. But what's also cool here is that this requires a lot of work from animation. So you want to walk us through a little bit, like what goes into making that sort of stance there?
Okay, first of all, the stance, like the character is a little bit low, we can say that, and he's not static in that stance. So, which means we had to go to mocap and record a whole navigation like that.
Yeah.
The mocap actors did an amazing job, so shout out. Like they did amazing.
Yeah.
And
Back is,
for
Oh, yeah.
back and legs, I would
yeah,
say.
yeah.
So
He's gonna be,
yeah.
gonna be feeling it for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I remember we shot it on I think on a Monday, and the Tuesday the guys came back in and they like you saw they were hurting. It was obvious. They're very very professionally trained like stuntmen. They're amazing. They're really good people.
Has
They're
to
doing an
stop,
amazing job. But
continue.
it's still
Yeah.
very like it's
Yeah,
hard.
an amazing job there.
Yeah, was it tough to go and convince?
I'd love
the-
to
the
try
mocap
some
actors,
mocap,
hey, so
like,
we just kinda need you to
see what
crouch
it's
there
like
for
to
like
actually
2
do it.
hours.
I know it's a
Just
very
walk
skilled
and
job,
can
and obviously I'd be
repeat
probably
this,
Yeah.
shit at it,
please,
but
Do it again,
and,
crouch
it'd be cool to
better,
actually
yeah.
like
we can always modify it,
see
like, with
Yeah.
your
software,
movements
but it
like
takes
on
longer.
screen and
So when
like
we
look at the
have,
whole
like,
process.
really
I
good
think
data, it's
Ubisoft did a video about it
can
like a
put
few years ago,
everything together, like, with
and
software.
Nice.
it was
And
looked
for the attack,
awesome.
I would say that the challenge
Love to
here
try it.
as an animators, we always exaggerate poses, and it was the range that he's
Thanks
covering
guys
there.
for joining, by the way.
So the
We
challenge
are
was to keep it more
over the
fixed,
400 viewer
to
mark,
keep
which
the level of,
is pretty good. I haven't done a stream for a while, but yeah,
and
glad you
as
guys
much
have
as, it fits
jumped
the
in to
for an
say
hour.
hello. So
Yeah. And so
very
one
much
thing that
appreciated.
people that, like,
Welcome.
You haven't been at mocap. It's kind of interesting to kind of talk about whenever we actually do mocap, when we do navigation, we call navigation, when you're moving around. Like we're asking.
I need to have a better
the
streaming
actors
setup
or
though.
stuff to really
I'm not
go
set up
and
for,
you have to walk, run in
for
different,
live
like,
streams very
directions,
well.
do figure eights, all sorts of stuff, so we can get like
Exactly.
every single movement, how the legs are placed, how that stuff works. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stuff, and but it ends up looking amazing. So yeah, I think we're hyped.
The hero actually comes out next week, so the 27th of July. Today is just the reveal.
Let's look at executions right now, right?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Ooh, executions.
I'm gonna do it again.
Here we go. This is where they really show off their mocap
Right, so that's pretty cool.
skills.
I can do it, and then again, it counts as an opener. I can lock in, go back into every finishes if I want. So all good stuff there. That works really well.
That's the only attack he flips.
Yeah,
We tried doing that move earlier.
Yeah, we were
outside
trying
with
like.
the-
Like
Man,
2
it was
minutes.
heavy.
It's rough.
Outside,
Yeah,
I don't know how the actors
that's
did it.
pretty cool. Okay, so Jimmy, if you want to remove your infinite health.
Yes. I don't.
Arena settings, yeah. You know that first one.
Here.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I can
Back
help.
to arena settings. Sorry.
This.
No,
No?
no, no, no.
You
You
wanna
have to
do it?
Nolan,
Yeah, I think
we can take every-
quick settings and then you go there.
There you go.
All right. Okay. So, we're gonna look at executions, right? So I'm gonna go.
Really just demonstrate the blender.
Yeah.
So,
All right, first one.
club.
Ooh,
Bam.
Yeah.
So
damn.
Get them off. Pretty brutal. You know, looks pretty cool.
Threw it straight at him.
Respawn. Okay, so let's do this again.
It's quite a hefty weapon to throw as
All
well.
4 of them. So.
Just never stop.
All right,
playing
second one. Here we go.
That's the goal.
Oh,
right,
through the
I
thigh.
love this one. It's like
Oh man.
Daniel special.
Ooh.
right. So clearly, right now we're on stream, so we.
They've yeah.
Show
blood and
I was
stuff.
gonna say they've
But,
turned off
it's quite
turned
bloody.
off blood
You see
and
it in
gore
games,
effects.
yeah,
Otherwise,
it's
that's gonna
quite
look
bloody.
pretty brutal in game. All right, here we go. Number 3. Through the chest again, across the
Good
neck.
Fast execution, right? Works quite well.
Yeah,
And
I
then
reckon a
finally,
few heads are gonna
last
come
but
off
not
in
least.
the actual fully gore version of these executions. Coming up to the 4th one, final execution.
So that's the 4th execution here.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fall right on this.
Damn.
That's my personal
So
favorite.
that's what we did at mocap, right? We had one guy jump like that and fall into the spear. And
Yeah, yeah, for real. We lost an actor
So-
that day. It was really
I think
bad.
some of this is assisted
But we got
mocap.
the shot.
They
We got
do
the
like
shot.
Right, so
We
that's
got
good.
the shot.
50%
Alright,
of the
okay,
mocap
so,
there for some
now
of them,
we've
and
gone through
then
entire
the end
fight
is
kit.
digitized.
So
But it looks cool.
prep
It looks cool,
quickly to
but
go into,
potentially unrealistic. But
showing
who cares? Who cares? It's a bit like Pirates one, where she like
That's
squishes the sword out of them by
It's
just
nuts. And,
stepping
you know,
on them.
That's again,
It's kinda funny.
It's incredible. I gotta say, just to go back to like the work the team did, and because this was a big team effort to get all this animation work in. I know you two were like the lead animators on this, but we also had other members of the team working on this. So just big shout outs to everybody.
Just noticed the helmet
working on
behind
the animation, the
JC
audio,
there's
the
got
effects
a casual
behind this.
pair of
It's
sunglasses on it.
Just so good.
As you
like,
do.
The work was incredible.
Everyone did their part, and it shows, man.
For Honor and sunglasses
CG
seems to
side,
be.
animation side, sound.
I've got
Yeah.
some sunglasses myself somewhere.
Creepy, like at some
Yeah,
point
yeah,
with the
like that.
Feats
I don't feel
UI.
like wearing them inside though.
We'll see through the feats when we go through them, right? But the first feat in particular, like it was a massive joint effort from VFX people,
Yeah.
code, game design, everything. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a complicated thing to do, but I think the results speak for themselves.
Looks pretty cool though, in general. To
Big
summarise,
shout outs here, like also
he
to
did
the
have
game
a
design
second
team,
stance,
to,
which
uh,
kind of called
with,
yesterday in my
Noel and Costa,
video. I was
they're
expecting
like,
more bleed
two
attacks
amazing
though.
Game designers, they worked
Um,
super hard on the hero. Like it's always
he's
a team
got
effort, right? We always
A
work
huge
all
amount of
together,
chains.
but, they were
So
in charge
his
of the hero,
his
like,
change, his pouncing attack. He's more like a
All the
ganking
amazing
hero.
quality,
I'm
it's a
feeling
big
Really?
Noel Costa.
more of a
They do a
gank
hard
hero
time holding
in
it.
team fights.
I'll do the hearts for you. It's good.
All right. Okay. So we can
So I'll
switch to there. Okay,
probably
so
take him into limb.
This is what's going on, right? So as you see, 4 feats. First 3 are passive. The last one is active. So we'll go for the first one because I think it's the crazier one, right? So Jimmy, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, here we go with the
By
feats,
the way, Chad,
ladies
if
and
you're not sitting
gents.
down, now's a good time. Sit down. If you're in a car, buckle up. If you can just find a seatbelt anywhere, just get rid of it.
Just not executing it.
All right, so he's going low health.
Okay.
he's dead.
So now, oh no, I died.
Oh,
Happening.
oh no.
Oops.
Oh,
I
man.
respawn. So
Oh,
this
okay.
is what the first feat does, right? So whenever you die, and you're not executed, or you don't die from like traps or get
That's
ledged,
gonna
whatever,
complicate things a
you
bit.
get back up in spirit form. You can run around the map, go anywhere you want, and respawn wherever you'd like, as long as you're not too close to enemies or allies, or in ladders. You can run around. You can go up ladders if you'd like. Let me just go here, right? Go up a ladder.
You're faster.
You're also faster. Yeah, that's true. You're actually running faster, so there's a bit of animation there. I can go
So
here.
what happens in a limb then
Looks
when
good
you
here.
can't respawn?
Respawn here. Right?
Capturing.
Backcapping,
Dunno.
super crazy, super dangerous. Really cool stuff. So
Yeah,
the
good for
first feat
Dominion.
really
That's gonna
is
be interesting.
about repositioning. We'll do it again just to make sure that there's a couple of more things to talk about. But essentially, it's around the concept of life and death, especially for these warriors, is whenever you end up perishing and dying, you get back up and you can position yourself. So you can kill me again if you'd like.
I've never really
I
liked
love-
Just if you want.
if you want, you know, otherwise you don't have to. But yeah, so another thing that's important to see here is that the feat always activates. There is no cooldown to it, so every time you
Bit of a
die on the
delay for it
battlefield,
to
and you're not
respawn, though.
executed, like I said again,
It's not completely
you
instant.
this always happens. When you get back up, your health is really low, and it slowly goes back up.
Yeah, you can see it
regenerates
regenerating here.
slowly over time. So we really want to do this for balancing purposes, so that we had some tests that we did, and we had versions where you were at full health when you got back up.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Right? There were versions where,
Remember those
where,
days.
like,
that would be a bit
halfway and
OP.
goes up.
Just
You
run.
Be
can
a bit
see it's
OP
like
if he
it's
just
rather slow
straight
right
up
now, and that's
full
really on
health after.
purpose, because we don't want you to be able to just, you know, you die in front of somebody. and
Yeah,
you
that's
get right
true.
back up, full
You
health,
you want to
they're
get an
not
execution
healed up,
on
you know,
Exactly.
gonna
on
destroy them.
OCELOTL,
They go through
so
the
that you
blender
can't use
surprise,
this.
you know, so that's really cool.
But
the other important
if
thing
he's in a
is that
team
you
fight,
like respawn how many
which
seconds, you have a
probably
minute
OCELOTLs will be looking for,
respawn.
then you're
If you're too
less
close,
likely
you can
to be able to get an
respawn
execution
here. If the
in
timer
time.
expires, you respawn back at your home point. So you really have to like, kind of respawn wherever you like there. And it's super good, right? So if whenever you get killed or whatever, you can go, you can back cap, you can look at the battlefield, see what's going on. Maybe spawn, you see a group fight, like, okay, I'm gonna go help my ally. You go respawn a little bit out of it, go into this, help out your opponent, help out your ally rather. So that it's pretty cool, right? There's a lot of good stuff there that works. Really
Yeah. I think it's also important to mention there that even though you're seeing JC's perspective here and you get the cool silhouette as you're running around in that form, your opponents cannot
Can't
see you.
Yeah, right. Like if you wanna, like you can
Yeah.
do it again. Well, actually, I'll
Oh, please kill me. Fun
It's a
fact
brutal
about-
stream today, guys.
Fun fact about this feat: we had a lot of realization ideas for the
Oh,
the
don't execute 'em.
revive
If
animation.
you'd executed them, they wouldn't
They
have to
turned
do
out
it.
to be way too long.
Oh, so the body goes
it
as
was
well.
Very ethereal. The actors were moving around, and being revived. But for the sake of gameplay, we had to cut a lot of those animations
See,
out.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. So right now, Jimmy's somewhere. I have no idea where he is.
He's
Where?
somewhere.
He's somewhere. I don't know where he is. Like he might respawn in my face. He might respawn at my home point. He might respawn at my opponent's point. I have no idea. I do not know where he's going to respawn. And then I'm like, where is he? Where is he?
Capturing
he's
your
getting-
Oh, it's
point.
gonna.
Oh no, he's
I
there.
mean,
he's
next to a
captured.
ledge
So
or
that's
something.
kinda like
Oh,
a
actually,
big
that
part
would be
of the
cool.
feat that's super interesting.
There's
It's
going to be so
very
many
different,
moments where people
very
are going to
different
respawn
whenever
if someone's on a
you
ledge.
upload this.
Yeah.
Just respawn behind them and then just kick him off.
We're having,
I reckon that's going to
yeah,
happen
we're
a
gonna
lot.
start to look at doing
In
stuff
classic
and
For Honor
moving around
fashion.
when you're
Or
dead,
fashion.
see how that goes.
Fashion. Yeah,
They
fashion.
didn't like us, but,
Classic-
in the end,
classic
they did
For
a
Honor
really
fashion.
Amazing job.
Yeah.
Everybody worked together, so it was great. Okay, so let's.
Yeah, you can't see them.
because we don't have infinite time here. So the second feat
Can't see your enemies
is
if they're
kinda
in
like,
that mode.
Aztec Killer Deterrent, right? So
I like
that's
it.
how
I like it.
that's how I
It's
like to put it,
I
right?
think we should change the name. and
Right?
get-
Yeah. So what it does is when you actually kill an ocelotl here. So you see on top of my head, I have a little marker, and I also have a buff and a debuff. The buff is for the third feat, but the debuff is on me. So essentially, when you kill an ocelotl, you get revealed on the map, and you get a defense debuff for, I think it's 15 seconds. So it's not really necessarily like a buff for your opponent that they're going to be able to see you, the one you killed specifically, but it's also to kind of like deter people from focusing on this hero too much. Because if you end up killing an ocelotl in a group fight, you're probably going to die afterwards. Right? You get a significant defense debuff. You got to be scared of it.
So you want to kill him last in a
That's
group
what we're
fight.
using here. We really want to make sure that, like, again,
I
the
see,
feats
I
stay
see.
with life and death, and what happens when you kill an ocelotl, and what happens when you get killed as an ocelotl.
Nice, nice.
And so the next one, when I kill any hero, right here, I'm gonna do here. So third feat activates. So the third feat is whenever you kill an enemy, execution, whatever, you gain a speed increase and an attack buff. So again, it's like really, really strong. You get into a group fight, you kill somebody, it's gonna be easier to kill other people in that group fight.
Nice.
So again, with that life and death stuff, you manage to kill your prey, you get pumped up, you go, yeah, all right, cool, I'm gonna be able to do more stuff, and you kill more people. So that's really, really good. Again, short cooldowns on those are passive. They pretty much trigger every single time you either die or you kill somebody. So that works really well.
Nice.
And then last but not least is Feat 4. So for Feat 4, we're trying to do something a little bit different here. Vanessa, when we started working on this hero, the legendary Vanessa, really wanted to go, you know what, we have like this big spear. I want to throw it and bring people back to
I called it yesterday.
So what do we do here?
I called it yesterday.
Get your
Oh,
back,
it's like a rope
get
though. I
into
didn't
a
expect
guard
that.
break. So not
What the hell?
he's gonna perish, unfortunately, but it's gonna be okay.
Due to the other
So
And he does have
what
bleed.
happens when you throw
So
that
there we go.
spear, the cooldown also we're like
He does in fact have bleed, and he can throw his spear.
It's okay, chat. It's okay.
Okay, right. So what ends up happening is that you throw
Our
the spear, when it
speculation
connects,
was
it deals
correct.
A little bit of direct damage, a significant amount of bleed damage.
I didn't see how much damage it did do
Pull
though.
opponent
It looked like it
towards
did like
you, and then you get
70
into a guard break
damage.
position, which means you can
is pretty
throw
mad.
somebody, or you get another free heavy afterwards. But when I say throw somebody, you know, you can kind of. Oh no, there's a ledge
But
here. What's gonna
where
happen?
can you throw somebody?
Oh.
He's gonna die again.
Can ledge with it.
Anticipation.
He's not gonna die before.
Was it a GB then?
Okay.
Is it classed as a
Let's do
GB?
this. And then
Yeah, it is.
Oops, there's a ledge. Oops.
Oh, I missed though.
Almost there, right?
So close.
We missed
works,
it.
Classic.
It works.
Classic.
Not every
It's gonna
single
bleed
time,
out
but
anyway.
you have to be careful. You have to be really close to the ledges. But that's the type of thing.
Yeah,
you
I reckon he's going to be a good legend hero.
use it to do a
If you
lot
can
of different
spawn
things.
behind people,
If there's,
just
any
kick him off,
obstacles between you
and you
and
can
the
also
person that you're pulling,
rope
like
pull
once
them
you've hit
towards
if
you.
Pull them towards you. They're gonna get stopped, so you can't just like
Spear
pull
rope
somebody
pull.
through allies or enemies or whatever. So you still have to be careful when you use it.
Don't quite know
But
the
it's
technical
amazing.
term
It's
for
a
that.
projectile. So again, in group fights, you know, you're external. You throw it, pull your opponent towards you, get a heavy. Your allies get a heavy off of them as well. All sorts of good stuff. So it's a super it's a very, very good fight, honestly.
And was that tough to do for y'all? Like kind of like you forcing them and dragging and like.
Right. Well,
was that a little tough?
that feat wasn't an easy feat.
Right? Yeah.
So we had a precedent before with other characters to do sort of a grappling thing. So we based ourselves of that for this feat. And we
They
used
kinda
a-
had
we
grappling
used a
with
similar
Shinobi
system
though,
with the
didn't they?
graps where,
Like the
we
old
had
Shinobi.
First
could
an
grapple.
animation for
So
the
they kinda brought it
grappling
back.
itself. Then we needed a loop for the target to reach the opponent. Once that loop was done, we also needed another animation for the drawback. And after that, we branched into the guard break, which was an addition we did by the end of this.
He got it.
There we go.
Sorry.
They just
Yeah.
interrupt
So all
the
these
guy
systems
before
work
that.
together. to
It's
make,
more the
this
technical
good feat.
side, I would say.
Yeah, that's the pretty technical side of
Yeah.
it. Animation-wise, it was relatively simple. It was more the technical side that was a challenge.
Yeah, because we have to like sync with VFX as well, have the rope,
That's
and all
right.
that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
All that stuff is built through like VFX systems, so it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you can just grab your opponent, get him over here, and then do something you want.
Yeah,
with
get
it.
it
That's
over
good.
here,
Yeah, that's just.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this hero's movesets and feats.
Oh boy,
So,
that's a lot.
it's a lot.
That's a lot for the
It's a lot,
OCELOTL.
lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, and I think just to kind of summarize there.
Probably say you
my
couldn't execute
you
off
know,
of that
some
just
of
because it
my
was a
key
bleed,
takeaways
and bleeds
of,
normally
yeah,
can't
yeah,
execute.
don't.
And it
don't-
was sort of
don't
like a
kill
GB
one.
as well.
Don't get killed by one, and if you see one, just run because they're coming for you. Okay, the OCELOTLs are coming for
No
you.
rage
and they
blood
will-
mode.
they-
Yeah, he has got his hunter stance,
They're terrifying. You made a terrifying.
but we don't know
hero.
his
Don't-
other feats actually,
made a
like his
terrifying hero.
non-hero
Oh my gosh,
specific
but there's
feats.
some
So he might
fun-
have like
so
fear
much
itself
fun.
or something.
Oh my
So
gosh, okay.
that could be
So
classed
yeah,
as
so
like
I
a
mean,
rage wave.
Honestly, big props to.
No more running away from my opponents. Yes,
Like,
yeah,
especially
a
the
limb.
first feat involved a
That's
lot
actually
from a lot
lot of work.
disciplines.
that
a
is
lot of work.
I can
It's
I
a
can
lot more
I can
work than
already
you
see the
do
clips
for
coming.
especially if you want.
People try and run away.
Like,
Nah,
kudos to everybody,
just
like the GPT team,
spear them,
programmer,
bring them back.
game design team, animation
Ledge
team,
'em
VFX
potentially.
team, art team.
I think
everything, it was,
I'm gonna have some
uh,
fun with this.
Disaster to make, but in the end, the result is completely amazing.
Put it up.
Super excited about it. So really, really good. And again, thanks to you guys.
Yeah, it depends on how far the
dedicated
spear can
amazing
actually
job
go,
on the
though.
animations and stuff. Like it's spectacular.
If it can
you
go,
look
like,
great. Like,
20
one of the things I
meters,
I really
that
like,
would be
is
ideal.
this, right? That top light finisher looks so cool.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the way
It
that
was
you,
all
like,
you.
yeah.
It was all you.
There's a
I'll
lot of
share the
really,
credit, you know.
Okay,
like-
we'll share it.
So there's a lot
Okay.
of really cool looking stuff there. So
Yeah.
like really, really amazing job. And so I don't know if you guys have any closing thoughts for the animation team.
What are my
thank you,
honest
team, for
thoughts?
all the
Well,
feedback.
without playing the hero,
You came up with
he
this.
looks like he's going to be better as a ganking hero
Support we got from the
than
animation
a
team and the
And it's
2D
amazing.
dual
Yeah.
hero, although
Sadly,
400
he-
millisecond attacks are pretty
You're the best.
unreactable.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Alright, well,
depending
thank you all
on
so much,
how quickly people
then
can get
for
used
all
to
the
animations,
feedback and for sharing
etc.,
with us the
will
process and
determine
all that,
how
going over the
reactable
gameplay.
his
Thank
like
you,
infinite
Jason,
chain
for
is.
the really extended
But he
deep
doesn't
dive
seem to
into
have
this. I
anything
hope that was
else
super cool for all of
like
you at
other
home.
than that infinite chain,
So we
apart from
what
his
do we got? July
stance
27th, so
mode,
next
which is
week,
not
just
going to be
as a
good in duels
reminder,
anyway.
if you wanna
So
play all of this
more of a
awesome stuff
gank
for
hero by the
yourself,
looks of things.
next week, all right, the OCELOTL will be releasing live. You'll be able to pick it up for the real cold
So
hard
27th,
cash, but 2 weeks
27th of
afterwards,
July,
it'll be
next week.
available for Steam
Next
as well, so
Thursday.
looking out for next week. So thank you all again.
That's when we're going to get him.
Coming up next, we've got some patch notes to go over as well. So JC's going to stick around with me about. Oh, you got the sunglasses on. The Dan and the cooler Dan are ready to head out for the day. So cool. Thanks everybody again. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll talk patch notes next. All right.
All right, well that's it. That is it for OCELOTL. Next we'll hear about him will be when he goes live, and you guys will actually get to play him. So yeah, that'll be it for gameplay. For now, never know. Might see some gameplay elsewhere coming up, but we'll have to wait and see. I wonder what the patch notes are going to be though. I haven't been following patch notes for a while as well as I should be. So we'll have a look and see. I'd love them to bring back Orochi's heavy deflect, but one can only dream. Yeah, he seems quite a simplistic hero. Nothing too OTT. Nothing like Medjai stance switching. I kind of had a thought towards the beginning, or maybe they're going to give him like a third weapon, because I've seen a lot of shields in the like art. But that didn't happen. But we got a cool rope spear tier 4. That is the winner for me. To be able to pull people back who run away from me in a limb is going to be, it's going to be lovely. That annoying Shinobi who decides they're going to run. Not going to run anymore. Not when I'm playing OCELOTL. Oh yeah, we didn't really get a feel for his hitboxes, that's true. I mean, it's impossible to say, like, just from seeing a 1v1 what his hitbox is going to be like, but they looked on the smaller side. They didn't look, like, just judging by the animations, he was kind of a short range, like Aramusha kind of hero, which doesn't have amazing hitboxes. Maybe small to medium-sized hitboxes. Not going to be a Medjai or a JJ, I don't think. Even though he had his spear. I was thinking when I saw that he had a spear and a short-range weapon that the spear was going to be a bit longer, but the spear was actually a shorter spear. So
thank you for sticking around. We're
medium
gonna go into some
hitbox, I'd
patch
say.
notes next with JC, who's still with us on the couch. But you know, just quickly before we dive into that, you know, as we're transitioning here, we sometimes take a peek at the chat. I think JC just wanted to say something a little extra.
So yeah, one thing I want to like try to make it a little bit clearer, because it might not have been clear. So thanks chat for pointing that out. But essentially, the OCELOTL's first feat is every time you die, you get back into that form. You cannot choose to respawn at your spawn point, and the big trade-off when you're using it is that your respawn times will be longer.
Yeah.
Because as you get up, like as you saw, the health starts really low. If you want to get back at full health, you have to wait like a very, very long time to really get back to full health. So yes, it's strong, but you cannot choose when that feat triggers. You can only choose when you respawn and where you respawn. where you don't get to choose, oh, I'm going to use it this time or not using that time or whatever. So there is a definite trade-off. Yes, it's a feat one. Yes, it looks like it's like insanely strong. And we will keep an eye on it for balancing, for sure. There's no way that we're going to, if things are obscenely strong, it's not going to fly.
Yeah.
But it's something that we're keeping an eye on regardless. But yeah, there's definite trade-offs. It's not just, oh, I'm going to kill everybody. It's just, it's good. But yeah, so we'll see how
a
things
a
evolve.
4-stack of
I've already
OCELOTL is
addressed
going
a
to be
lot of things that we
interesting.
got,
Yeah.
internally and stuff.
Especially if they're using that tier 1.
Yeah, I think
And suddenly
just
all
trust us
4 of
when I
them
say,
spawn behind
know,
you
like,
and
we
you're standing on a
watch this
ledge.
stuff closely, and again,
That's gonna
it's
be
gonna
an
change some
interesting
things, the way
situation.
You think about how you play in different things, but like there's a lot of balancing that goes into it too. So just you try it out for yourselves next week. You'll see. So
Yeah.
all right. So let's dive into some patch notes because that was a very heavy segment too. So let's maybe bring it down, do something a little more chill.
Right.
So we got a few patch notes to talk about for next week.
So I just want to start this off first with saying that like these are not super beefy patch notes. We've been extremely busy.
My webcam froze.
The hero.
Doing what? Oh, the hero, right?
The
Yeah.
hero and a lot of other stuff. You know what else we're working on.
I know.
But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So these might not look like huge patch notes, but rest assured, we're still doing a lot of balancing. We're still doing a lot of stuff. I think we have a bit more in store for the next season, but for right now, like it's not massive, but still stuff that we feel we need to address right now. Make sure that things are good. But yeah, don't worry, we're still doing stuff. I don't want people to start thinking, oh, they're gonna stop doing balancing.
Let's try and sort
okay,
this
so let's
out.
go.
Apologies.
First up, we have, if this works, because it doesn't seem like it's working.
Right,
now.
there
we
it
go.
is.
Okay,
Clicker.
so Jormungandr. So basically 2 changes for Jormungandr, but everything centers around the fact that Jotun Farewell and Hammerslam are a little bit overtuned in some situations. Initially, we were feeling that like Jotun Farewell, which is the bash that you perform when you're in chains, we were comfortable with the fact that it chained on miss, specifically because it only chained into the chain zone.
Right.
And even though it's armored, you could always dodge attack and get into it and deal damage. So we're like, okay, it's okay. But then a lot of expectations from players were, and rightfully so, right? You're doing this move. When it does land, you get 30 damage, right? So the risk-reward proposition here was so heavily skewed into Yorm's favor.
I'll try and get my
it kinda
webcam
didn't
back,
really
but
make a lot of
if not, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it feels good when you're doing it.
You guys have seen
but
what I look like.
It needed to be toned down a little bit so that we're like, okay, we're in a good position. We have, like, it's a lot more balanced. And we also felt that we're like, okay, well, it's in chains. It's not the easiest bash to access. It's not, but at the end of the day, looking at the data, looking at player feedback, where all that went, we decided to make a change. So for first, is Jordan Farewell no longer chains on miss, which means that if you correctly read that Jorm is going to do that move, and you dodge, you get a guard break. Now, this might feel like a massive nerf, but let me tell you something.
Tell me.
If you're trying to do side dodge into guard break, you leave yourself vulnerable to feint into guard break from Jorm. So you still have to make that choice. It's still risky, and it's still riskier for the opponent, right? There's still a bit more risk for the opponents, but if
I think I've
there's
got
a
that
correct
back.
read, then they can actually get
Apologies
a guard break
for
and
that.
24 damage. So it's kind of like on average. So that's kind of like the idea here, right? So because
Don't want
it's
to cover
feintable,
Jorm's
because
face
there's all
now.
these
Don't
things
want to
going
cover
on,
this
it's okay. And then before
handsome
because you could
gentleman
zone afterwards,
with
you
the
couldn't
hammer there.
really ever do a side dodge to guard break.
I might put
Unless you did,
myself
like,
down. Where
super
can I put
crazy early
myself?
dodge, and it was like really particular. So in this case, like with this, it's more balanced. And on top of this,
I'll put myself
Hammerslam
there
now deals
for
26 damage, down from 30. So in this case, it's if Jorm gets the correct read, lands the bash, he gets
Right, we're back.
26
Apologies.
damage. If your opponent gets the
That's
correct
only
read,
like the
then
second or
you get
third
either a dodge
thing to
attack
go
or
wrong.
potentially a guard break into generally 24. So the risk reward proposition here is a lot different. It's less skewed toward Jorm. Typically, we've been doing.
I never know about
Jorm's
Jorm's
very heavily
face
rewarded.
paint here. He
So
just kind of
this is a bit
looks
of a
like he's
nerf
been
this
shot in the
case.
head.
Should feel a bit better to play against. We've seen a lot of comments, a lot of feedback about this.
Not quite sure in that fashion there, Jorm.
Right. So yeah, less skewed kind of feels like more balanced.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's
Exactly.
It's
more
interesting.
balance.
Interesting. Okay.
Just need more balance. All right. Okay. Next up, we have Scent. So we're aware. I'm just gonna start that. There's
Haven't played Scent in a
problem
long
with,
time, actually.
Tracking on
I didn't
Centurion
do-
when you do a light into a fully charged jab.
Didn't
and
do
then
too
you
badly with him
double dodge
when I
over
played him
and
for a very short period a
if
couple of years ago.
the
So
answer
maybe
was
I'll
as
pick him up again.
simple as when somebody on the team, including me, clicking something and it worked, we would have done. Unfortunately, it's a tricky proposition. The way the move is built is different from other chargeable bashes, and because of that, it's a lot trickier. We're going to require animation.
Oh, has my camera gone again?
Things to really
No, it hasn't.
flesh it
I was
out
just
properly. So,
not moving.
it's taking a bit more time than we wanted to fix it.
I looked to my left and I was
I
like,
just wanna make
oh,
sure, like,
I'm in the same
I get
position,
it
but
clear
then
for
it was
players.
because I
It's
literally
not
just
that
wasn't
we're
moving.
Not aware.
So,
It's not that we
there
don't
we
want
go.
to fix it. It's that it's more complex than we anticipated initially. We did a change before that helped, but
I'll
it
drink
doesn't
some
fix
water
it.
so I can see that I'm moving.
That's where we're going at. But today on Scent, what we're doing is we gave uninterruptible stance on charge jab 100 ms earlier.
Nice.
Now you might be going, what does that change, right? Well, it does change something quite a bit actually, which is Centurion, like other heroes, when you did a light attack into a charge jab, that's the case when you took here, for example, you could get lighted out of the charge jab, right? Because the armor, like the uninterruptible stance, kicked in at 200 ms. Now that it kicks in at 100, if you go light into fully charged jab, your opponent just cannot light you out of it ever. So they actually do have to respect what you're going to be doing a little bit better. It's still commit full. You still have to commit to the attack. You still have to get into it. But at least you're a bit safer when you do it, which is a big part of what we're doing for Scent. It makes a lot of sense as we go towards and getting the rest of the heroes issues in order. So that's like it's a bit of a quality of life, but it also makes a big difference because now it's a lot safer to throw out lights and go into jab.
Nice. So respect the Scent now. You
Exactly.
Like, all right.
And then last but not least, Nusha. So
it's my girl.
Right, it's your girl, right?
I love her so much.
So Nusha, we had I'm gonna say it out. We're gonna nerf caltrops.
No.
So for a long
Nerfing
time,
caltrops?
Nusha
What?
was not,
They are pretty annoying though, aren't they,
not
actually?
super viable in Dominion.
Especially when you're like stuck in a
Even
corner.
when using those feats. She's a very, very 1v1 centered hero. We've done some buffs to her so that like she has better trajectories on her heavies and stuff, so you can like defend yourself maybe a little bit more in group fights, hit people externally. That's great. But at the same time, once we got
Thing is, Nusha's not amazing in 4 versus 4,
all
like
of a sudden, she's
with her moveset. So the caltrops, in a way,
I have noticed.
and
Yes.
it's
made her a
an
bit more
interesting thing
viable.
because those traps are
So we'll probably
like, the
see her
better
less
player
in
facing,
4v4.
the stronger they are, because better players tend to make correct reactions to everything, and she's built to defeat correct reactions. So that's kind of like that was like a big part of how we built Nusha back in the day. So that works well, but because she works so much better, caltrops, which was I'm not biased or anything, but I think it was by far the best feat in the game. It beats out corruption even as a tier 1, beats out Fire Flask, beats out like Spear Storm, like all sorts of crazy feats. This beat them. Partially, pretty much because the cooldown on it was extremely short. And the uptime was also extreme.
Shinobi's Shurikens as a tier 2 was a pretty powerful feat as well.
45 seconds cooldown.
I think it got nerfed though, but you can actually one-shot people with that feat if they GB as you use it, because all like 4 of the Shurikens would hit and they each do like 20, which is like 80 damage in 1
Wait 20 seconds.
millisecond.
And in those 20 seconds, more minions came, dropped caltrops again, cleared out the whole lane again, right?
Listen,
So she was a monster.
I
But
was kind of hoping you didn't notice my strategy, but now here we are.
That's how it goes.
Oh no.
But the problem is that when the character was not really picked, it still is a problem, right? There's no question that it wasn't a problem, but it wasn't as high on our priority list because the hero was underperforming herself. So we wanted to make sure that we buffed her up before we ended up nerfing some of the more like unhealthy parts of her kit. So with this, we've nerfed caltrops significantly, but you'll see how it works. So basically now her cooldown for caltrop is 90 seconds, so it's instead of 45, so it's doubled. We doubled the cooldown, and it's now active for 15 seconds instead of 25. You can still go into the lane and drop it. We haven't touched the damage. We haven't touched the radius. We haven't touched like any of those other parts of the feat. We really just worked on her cooldown and how long it's active for. So this way, you can still go use it like you were using it before. You just can't use it as often as you did before.
You're tough but fair.
I'm tough but
You're
fair.
tough
right?
but
That's,
fair. All right,
that's how it
see
goes.
this.
We're trying to like really make sure that this is more balanced.
Yeah.
It's been a comment we've been hearing from a lot of pro players
Right,
for a
right.
long
It's true.
time.
It's true.
And I remember we have some discussions like ongoing with some players, and when we did the Nusha testing grounds with the improved traps, their number one worry was, oh my god, caltrops. Cultural. Oh my God, right? I kept getting messages from a bunch of people about this, and I get it, right? We wanted to give her like at least one season, like one TU, to kind of get into the groove. But now that we're there, it's time to.
It was a beautiful TU.
Yeah, it was a beautiful TU. It had to come.
Welcome, guys, if you are joining just now as well. They have revealed the hero already, so we're just on the finishing up stages of the stream now with the patch notes, etc. But I will make this live stream available once it's finished, so you guys can rewatch the whole thing if you want. I might do some like videos of different parts of the stream as well, because
time is a blur right now.
It's
just because
so
everyone does it
we're
anyway,
testing
so I might as well do it as well.
The second iteration of Lawbringer, and
But yeah, the new hero
I wanna talk specifically
looks
about
pretty cool.
patch speeds, because,
Nothing
Lawbringer is a subject that we'll
massively
talk about,
different.
like,
Nothing like
but first batch
crazy game
specifically,
changing.
I wanna
The most
thank
different
everybody
thing
for
is the
participating. Did an amazing
respawning.
job. We got a
He
lot
can
of
respawn
data.
anywhere he wants on the
We got
map.
some
That's
information
pretty
from
different.
some people in the community, like, like crazy Excel sheets with, like, reaction
But in
times.
terms of moveset,
Amazing
is
players.
pretty
We have
pretty
a good idea
standard.
of what speeds bashes should be from front dodge, so that's great. However, we will be taking a little bit more time than what people might expect to push it to live, just because we need to make sure that of what the impacts of this are going to be, right? So the testing ground was there for us to be able to determine what are the correct speeds. When are we supposed to be doing these things? What timing is it basically unreactable for everyone? But then there's other impacts, right? There's impacts to potential impacts to ganking, to frame advantage, to a bunch of different things. So now that we know kind of what speeds are optimal, and it turns out it's pretty much the same for everybody. So that's great.
That's good.
We were really hoping, like we were really looking into like if there's different options, is there a different impact on a lot of these things? And the answer ends up being pretty much no. So while we do have the number, the knock-on effects that this has means that we have to investigate a bit further, go deeper into it, and go what happens on like dodge cancel characters, for example, that go into a front dodge bash. Is stuff going to be guaranteed? What's going to be happening there? So we want to take our time a little bit to really investigate, go deeper into this. So it means it's going to take a little bit longer than everybody would have hoped. But I think it's in absolutely everyone's best interest to just wait a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so that we can release something that's going to be better for the entire community.
Sure.
We can go with there.
Totally makes sense. Absolutely. Nice.
And then
we had one more thing.
Yeah,
right?
one more thing, right?
Okay.
It's not a major one more. Like it's not that
But
one
it's
more
cool.
thing. Yeah, but it's super cool, right?
It's cool though. Yeah.
So we're also adding a new quality of life thing, a little option when you're finishing matches and you get a lot of loot. So I know Max has a little video. So you can now tag multiple items when you are in the screen and then dismantle them all at once.
Nice.
So again, really shortens all that thing. I'm happy because I'm not gonna have to go into my inventory and like just.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can already do that in inventory, but yeah, I
Well,
guess
so
yeah,
kudos
doing that
to,
at the end of the
like,
match,
UI
yeah, that's
team,
cool.
'cause that's always worked for them.
That's cool.
And they're always swamped. So that's great. So
They are,
really good
yeah.
job there for code as well. So really amazing.
They need to increase the rate of steel you get though from matches, because
Yeah, pretty much for
there's so much stuff in game that's like 20,000 steel, and it's like, man,
Well,
don't have
great.
enough
Yeah, I mean,
money.
short and sweet, but again, some really good quality of life stuff coming in there. So again, big thanks to the UI team too for adding that feature. Again, like you said, anytime you don't have to go into like a bunch of other menus to do something,
Yeah,
it's always better.
It's always.
So that's great. We appreciate that. Well, amazing. Well, JC, thank you so much for coming on, sharing all this information about the OCELOTL, the upcoming patch. We have an amazing season ready next week, so that's awesome. Yeah, same here. So, so for everybody still watching too, we have an outro coming up soon. We're going to go over some fun things to look forward to. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, go.
We are at the wrap up. It's been an hour and a half. It's been not as long as some of the streams have been in the past, but yeah, wouldn't want it to be much longer than normally. When these streams get over 2 hours, it's kind of like a bit long in my view. Yeah, I definitely think OCELOTL's going to be better in 4 vs 4. Normally when the new heroes come out, I normally take them into duels and brawls just because that's my thing, but I think I might focus more on Elim, actually. It's more varied, it's more interesting, there's more things that can happen. Definitely been enjoying it more recently than duels and brawls. Not that I'm going to stop doing duels and brawls though. Just a nice change. I'm also quite close to rep 60 with Shinobi, and I may or may not be close to rep 70 with Kyoshin.
And we're back!
What was that noise?
I hope you guys are as hype as we are for the new OCELOTL. I'm super here for it. But we...
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
No, please.
you.
I'm sorry.
It's good to be back with you.
Absolutely, man.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, Brian. For sure.
Real quick, I forgot something. It was Gabrielle's birthday. I
What?
forgot to say it. So
Okay.
yeah,
Happy birthday, sir.
get
Cool.
some birthdays in the chat. And
Yeah.
we'll show them later. But yeah, reminder: the new hero comes out on the 27th.
That's right.
And that's for the cash
Oh.
money swag.
That's right.
And then 2 weeks later, available for 15K steel.
Mhm.
Steel.
Cool. And
That's
we'll also
15,
have
not
a
20.
free event pass, so just a reminder of that. The Hunt of the
15K.
OCELOTL, which will be running from
Still a
July
lot,
27th
but
to
not as
August
much as 20.
17th. So again, those are free. You just play and earn.
I think there's
awesome
some effects
rewards
there,
for those.
20K.
So just make sure
Some
you're
outfits
logging
at
on
20K.
starting next week and play. Yeah, lots of fun stuff there.
Could be wrong
It's
there.
gonna be great.
I love the realization on this hero.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could just take a moment, I just want to mention the camera. I saw some people talking in the art direction about like how good it looks. Because trust me, you could go in blindly and just randomly select stuff from the armors and the colors and the material, and it'll look amazing.
Oh, yeah, you
it's
can
incredible.
absolutely Mad Lib the fashion.
Yeah, no,
and
it's-
it all looks good. It all blends well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Warmonger might finally have a rival in the fashion department.
We'll
So-
see. We'll see. For fashion, we're counting on you for fashion. So there you go.
Yeah, looking at you, newbie. Yeah, I think we talked about the event pass, so I think it's time to go into community spotlight.
Oh, I
Let's
love
look at some
community
videos.
spotlight.
Let's look at some submissions.
It's good. I haven't seen these yet.
Yeah,
but
we
I
I
love
don't know where
should
people
know
submit
it.
these clips,
I
actually.
still
These
am
community
blind on these. Looks
clips.
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. All right, so first up, we've got Ad Mortem in Yeticus. And you'll see why. You'll see why. I mean,
I mean, we got Lawbringer, so anytime he's on screen, I'm happy about it.
I always love it when this does
Oh, wow. Yeah, Lawbringer's got
Good lord.
And then I
massive
love
range
this,
on his backward throw.
variation on
But
a
that
popular
seemed
meme,
more
just
than
parry
usual.
This, you
What on
filthy
earth is that?
Oh,
casual.
it's so good art.
I want a shoulder mounted trebuchet, and then this is using
Oh, I've seen this
the
one.
whole of your brain.
Goes down.
What?
He
That's
emotes
right,
down.
Nation Tech, and I did an instant replay.
That is like...
That was awesome.
So just the emote just decreases
Get
hitbox or
emoted.
something.
And then we
insane.
always have that one teammate, right? So I was overjoyed to see it put into art.
Yeah, that was really good too.
And then it's the final brain cell.
Oh, dear.
There it is.
Bro.
Oh, I love our community so much. That's amazing.
Yeah, so those are some of our top picks from the
Big
last
brain
month.
move there.
If you
Big
know if
brain
you want
move.
to have
Love
a
to see
chance
it.
of getting your content featured on the Den, put it on the Reddit and or Twitter
Yeah.
or Instagram, and tag us in it.
All the places.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I should do
'cause,
some
we
community
look at all of
clips.
them.
Yeah, it's great.
Maybe
but
like
yeah,
one day,
we've got some more
one day a
stuff
month
coming
or
up.
one day.
We've got
Every now and then.
Retrofits, right?
You
Because
guys have
we
got some
talked
cool
about
clips.
Chad's
Maybe I could
Hikari,
showcase them.
event coming
Comment on
back.
them.
So guess
Could be
what?
an idea.
We're bringing back all the fan favorite content that we had during that last event. So it's going to be retrofit for all the heroes coming up. So we have the emote Shadows of the Hitokiri for 10k steel. You're also going to be able to loot the Secrets of Kaidan battle outfit. The Survivor of Kaidan ornament, which is awesome, and the Spirits of Kaidan mood effect. So all
Which is a
really
great one.
I know it's good. It's subtle, but like it goes with a lot
This
of
this effect here actually is
Oh,
good
yeah,
for a limb
I've seen some
because
great, like,
it actually has a
concepts
slight
that incorporate it.
purpose in that you can make
And of
people
course
think
the,
you have one of the
Shinigami's
buffs.
Oath, illustrious outfit
Like
is
the
gonna
triple
be
shield
retrofitted
thing
and
that goes around
available,
you. It looks a bit like
10K
that, so you
steel.
can
That's
make
an
people
amazing
think
one
you
too.
have
I
it when
love
you
the
don't.
Shinigami
Like, there is
effect,
actually a
not
slight
the
reason you'd want to use
player,
that
so
Spirits of
good.
Kaidan one.
Very big Kamami bro energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And then coming up, we've got a trio of Hero Fests planned. So we've got Peacekeeper, and again, just to recap, Hero Fest.
It's Griffin today, isn't it? I haven't even done like the past 3 Hero Fests.
They're
I need to get on that.
33.3 repeating, of course, percent off. No, 30% off. I'm just kidding. It depends on. I think some of them are 33 actually. And then if you log in, you get 2 free symbols.
That's always good.
Bump up your symbols game. And then we've got Raider Legendary.
Ah, so good.
And
You're a
last but
Raider.
not least,
Legendary.
It's a new guy.
Yeah.
Outlander.
Classic
Outlander
saying in
Hero
For Honor.
Fest. It's happening.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Magi's unique that comes with that.
Oh, yeah.
How you gonna slay?
I've seen it,
Magi
it's
has
cool.
not had a
It's
Spoil
unique.
it,
Because
but
just the other day, I saw somebody saying
He's got
Magi
the least
needs
amount
more
of uniques.
execution. So there you go.
So to that one person, we heard you, I guess, and you're welcome. So there's that, yeah.
Yep.
Just same wavelength.
Yeah. And then we've got some content of the week.
Yes.
So we've got an Execution, Chimera's Retribution.
That's right, because it's Griffin's Hero Fest today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he gets
Yeah.
to.
I'll choose to believe you on that.
Yeah. And then also starting next week with the launch of the season, July 27th, new Lustrous outfit, Majestic Jungle. And there's nothing more majestic than that kitty cat. It's really cute. I want to pet it. So that'll be available for 20K still. And also a new Execution, the Blow Dart Barrage.
So those of you in chat who were like, I saw a blow dart in the trailer. Yeah, we
Right
didn't
there.
forget about it.
3 darts is too much.
I guess that one was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
dart
a
your
5th
friends.
for Ocelot, and they probably thought, oh, I can just give it to everyone.
And then
can change that,
Yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah. And then you may notice like a teaser behind me. But yeah, we've got a summer chair emote coming up. This will be 10K steel. So sun's out, fun's out. Get your free roam emote, chill. You know, or like motion for garçon to bring you a little umbrella drink. You know, soak up some rays. It's perfect for just in time.
It's going to be
for
the summer
summer.
version
So this will
of
be
the
here
rocking
on
chair, which you get at
August
winter.
3rd. And we may or may not be doing a thing with Larry. Larry might have. Yeah, we might have gone to the beach with Larry again.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So keep an eye on the. social
They have
media
indeed shown the
for all of
gameplay,
that. And
so
then,
we are just
I
wrapping up the
believe
stream
there's more.
at the moment.
There's
But I will be
more, yes.
uploading the
But
stream
wait, there's more.
when it finishes, so
we
you can
also
go
have
back and
a new
watch it.
arcade quest going on. Down the Rabbit Hole, it's a weekly quest available for all Marching Fire owners, so you can play that starting today, and will be available through the week. And also this weekend, an event order, the Medic Challenge. At the end of the challenge, be the faction with the most allies revived. Also starting tomorrow. On Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. I know what day it is.
Yeah.
Rehearsal day, the rest of this, I know. I know what day it is, people, don't worry.
Down Rabbit Hole, aka opening Reddit.
This is... That's also, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, but yeah, so be out there, revive your friends, your allies, or even just perfect strangers. Just pick them up. I'm probably going to be one of them on the ground all the time. But that's okay.
Yeah, and don't forget to emote spam after.
Yeah, just really let them know that you saved them. So it's good.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I believe that.
That was a lot.
What'd you say, Max?
All right. So everything.
Yeah. Oh,
We got
Max is
confirmation
confirming.
that
we've
it's
got
it.
confirmation. That's it for the show. Don't forget to follow us
Nothing
right
else.
here on Twitch because some of you aren't following. I don't know
Awesome.
why, but it says it in the stats.
Cool.
And then also
Yeah, I
on
think
social media, we are now at
elimination is
Fun
where I'm
Again
going to
everywhere.
take
We got rid of all the
OCELOTL.
weird, like,
Try out his
underscores
feats,
and
try out
stuff,
his
in all the
chains,
channels.
try out
That's
his
on our game
stance,
everywhere.
his running, jumping
Twitter,
attack where you can
Instagram,
pin someone.
especially Instagram if you like
Use
it really
those
saucy.
executions. Favorite
And
execution was
post a lot
definitely
of,
the one where he
memes
like
or
sawed
shitposts,
basically
like whatever you
through
wanna
the
call them.
guy's
But yeah,
head,
and we will
which
see you
was
guys
unique.
on the battlefield.
But
Here we go.
yeah,
Take care.
I don't normally do streams, so hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please like if you want to see more, and subscribe if you want to see more as well. All that kind of usual stuff. You know the deal. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'm super pumped for next week when I can show you guys the actual gameplay, and you guys can play it as well. So I'll see you then. See you guys.